Once upon a time, in the lush heart of Udu town, nestled within the vibrant land of Delta State, Nigeria, there lived a gentle young girl named Olubube, which means the miracle of grace. Her name was a silent prayer whispered into the ears of fate by a mother who never got to hold her. Olubube was 10 years old, with skin as radiant as freshly roasted cocoa, and eyes that sparkled like the Niger River under moonlight. But behind her innocent smile was a childhood slowly fading under the shadow of grief and pain. She never knew her mother. The only memory she had was through stories told by strangers, how her mother, Neka, a woman of quiet beauty and strong faith, had died giving birth to her. Some said she held the baby in her arms for just a moment before her last breath escaped into the wind. Her father, Odogwu, never recovered. For years, he walked like a ghost in the house, silent, broken, and soaked in sorrow. Yet, he worked hard. He was a respected fabrics merchant in Udu Main Market. He sold lace, Ankara, Senator, George wrappers, and Aso-Ebi to the finest of customers. Women with heavy jelly and gold bangles flocked to his shop not just for cloth, but for his trustworthiness and taste. Despite his wealth, Odogwu was a lonely man, raising his daughter alone in a modest yellow bungalow with a red roof, a small gate, and an old cemented compound where mango trees dropped fruit in season. At the corner of the compound stood a deep, black well, a place that would one day swallow secrets and almost take a life. Years later, after pressure from relatives, Odogwu remarried a woman named Amarachi, a woman whose light skin glowed in the sun and whose voice dripped with honey. She will take care of Olubube, people said. She looks like a motherly woman, others whispered. But they didn't know the truth. Behind that painted face and soft laughter was a woman with a heart as cold as the village shrine's stone idol. Amarachi came into the house with her daughter, Chisom, who was Olubube's age. At first, everything seemed fine. Amarachi cooked delicious meals, cleaned, and smiled. But soon, the smiles became frowns, the sweet voice turned sharp, and the love turned to bitterness. When Odogwu was home, Amarachi turned into an actress. Olubube, my darling Piking, come and eat rice and chicken See your cheeks like puff puff, she would sing, spoon-feeding her like a doting stepmother. But the moment his car disappeared through the gate, her voice became thunder. You useless bush goat. Come and wash these plates now. If I hear Pim, I will use this broom to reset your brain. Olubube washed. She swept. She cried. She kept quiet. Every day after school, Chisom would fling her school bag and skip off to play 10-10 or gossip with other girls. But Olubube would enter the kitchen, tie a wrapper around her waist, and begin the evening chores. She pounded yam until her tiny arms ached, peeled cassava till her fingers burned, and swept the compound even when it rained. And yet, she never complained. Even her school life suffered. Amarachi would pack rich food and give 500 Nigerian nairas pocket money to Chisom. Olubube's food flask was old, sometimes leaking. If she asked why, Amarachi would hiss. Your mother is not here to ask me. So don't try it. Her teachers noticed she was quiet. Too quiet. But she always smiled politely and never shared her pain. Not even when Chisom stole her crayons or tore her notes. Despite the constant hurt, one thing burned inside Olubube, the love for learning. When others slept, she read under her blanket with a small torchlight. When washing clothes, she whispered her school notes. When sweeping, she recited multiplication tables. Books were her best friends. They never shouted, slapped, or insulted her. They made her feel seen. Chisom, on the other hand, was a growing storm. Loud, proud, and careless. By age 12, She already had long artificial nails, danced on TikTok, and had a secret boyfriend, Namdi, a teenage boy from their street, who always wore his shirt halfway unbuttoned. One afternoon, Olubube walked to the backyard and caught them kissing behind the mango tree. "Say one word to anybody. I will make sure you regret being born," Chisholm warned. Olubube said nothing. But something deep inside her shattered. Then came the big announcement. Whoever passes the primary 6 exam well, Odogwu declared, will get a brand new bicycle and go to the best boarding school in Abuja. On my head, I swear. That night, Olubube knelt by her bed and prayed through tears. God, please. I want to leave this house. I want peace. Let me pass this exam. The exam day came. While other children chewed pencils and fidgeted, Olubube sat like a queen. She answered every question with calmness. Her hands did not shake. Her mind was a river, still and deep. Chisholm, meanwhile, was in crisis. She kept peeping at other students' papers, erased her answers 1,000 times, and sweated like a bush goat in Harmattan. 2 weeks later, the results arrived. Olubube scored 93%. A perfect result. A scholarship. 50,000 Nigerian nairas monthly stipend. A dream. Chisholm scored 32%. A disaster. Both girls rushed home. But only one smiled. Amarachi opened the papers. "What? You? You passed," she screamed, her hands shaking. "Lie? Tufiakwa. God forbid. You think you will leave this house and enjoy life? Never." In blind rage, she tore the result into pieces, poured kerosene, and burnt it. The ashes floated in the air, along with Olubube's dreams. That night, as thunder rolled and rain kissed the rooftops, Olubube went out to fetch water from the well. Her eyes were swollen. But her spirit refused to die. As she lowered the bucket, she felt someone behind her. "You want to leave me behind, N. You want to go to Abuja and forget who suffered you." It was Amarachi. Before Olubube could scream, Amarachi pushed her. Splash! The rain poured heavier. The wind howled. But fate had other plans. 3 teenage boys, Uche, Ebuka, and Onome, stood under a tree nearby, joking and recording a TikTok dance video. "Wait, did you see that? The camera didn't lie." They ran towards the house, shouting. Uche grabbed a rope. Ebuka and Onome shouted for help. They worked together like angels sent by heaven. After minutes of panic, they pulled her out, coughing, pale, barely breathing. She was taken to Uche's mother, who nursed her for 2 nights with pepper soup, dry towels, and love. Meanwhile, back at home, Amarachi wailed dramatically. She fell. "Oh. Kai Mo. My daughter is gone. Oh God, why?" Odogwu returned from the market and fell to his knees when he saw Olubube's slippers near the well. "My miracle, my baby, gone." But then, a knock. The door opened. And there she was. Happy. Pretty. Healthy. Alive. Holding the hands of her rescuers. Justice and freedom. "Amarachi," Olubube said, her voice calm but firm, "I'm not a ghost. But I have proof." She gave her father the phone. The video played. Amarachi's face, full of rage, was caught clearly pushing the girl into the well. Odogwu's body trembled. "You tried to kill my only child." He called the police. Amarachi screamed, begged, knelt. But it was too late. She was arrested and taken away that night. The next day, Odogwu sat by his daughter's bed and cried. I failed you. I allowed a witch to hurt my miracle. But no more. From now on, everything I have is yours. He bought her a phone, a bicycle, opened a bank account in her name, took her to Abuja himself and kissed her forehead as she walked into her new school in a neat uniform and polished shoes. Chisom was sent to the village to learn humility and discipline. Olubube rose. Slowly, steadily, she became the best student in her new school. Her story spread. Girls from everywhere drew strength from her tale. Teachers spoke about her in assemblies. She was invited to speak at events. And one day, on stage, with tears in her eyes, she said, even if they push you into a deep well, never stop believing that light will find you. Because it will. It found me. Moral of the story. No matter how deep your pain is, hope is deeper. No matter who tries to bury you, remember, seeds grow best when buried. Never stop believing in your worth, even when others try to destroy.